Good morning to all my wonderful viewers out there. Today, we've got to talk about a shoe that is unfortunately going to be a Chicago exclusive upon when it's first releasing. It may get a wider general release later, but we're going to talk about it today because it's coming out early as a Chicago exclusive. And as I said, maybe it'll be released later on as more of a general release. We'll have to see. What shoe are we talking about today? Today, we are talking about Jerry Lorenzo's new collaboration with Nike on the Air Fear of God 1 The Question colorway. Yes, guys, so it is Valentine's Day, and it wouldn't be Valentine's Day without a sneaker release, which is not Valentine's themed at all. It is not Valentine's themed at all. What we are getting is, well, I mean, everyone in Chicago is getting it. The rest of the world's just getting a big middle finger, bro. I mean, as I said, it might come out as a general release later on, but Chicago's getting it early. They are getting it on Valentine's Day, and what they are getting is a new colorway for the iconic Air Fear of God 1s. Although this time around, it's changed up a little bit. The color blocking is a little bit different. It's not just one tonal palette over the top of the whole of the silhouette. It's now got 2 colors on it. Oh my god, what an evolution. But yeah, I'll show it to you guys. We have a HYPEBEAST article covering it all. It is, yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of, you know, explanations into the influence of the colorway, the photo shoot for the shoe, everything. It's a lot. So we've got a lot to cover. Now, as I said, we are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. So if you're joining us today for the first time, come help us out. We're almost at 2K. Let's get to 2K by the end of February. I don't know. Is that possible? 15 days. 15 days for 150 subs? I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible. Prove me wrong, but I don't think it's possible. Either way, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. And without further ado, let's head on over to the HYPEBEAST article to have a look at the Air Fear of God 1 The Question colorway. And here we are. So this article more specifically goes into the influence behind the photo shoot for the colorway and the inspiration behind the colorway. It does have release details, of course, but it primarily focuses on the influences, and I think it's a very interesting article. I think we should definitely cover it instead of the traditional articles where it's like, here's the shoe, it's got these colors on it and uses these materials, and here's the release date. You know, they always get kind of boring after a while. So I thought I'd grab this article today, which is a little bit more interesting because, yeah, it explains it a little bit more, a little bit more depth behind it. And honestly, the story behind why it came into fruition might be the reason, or might be the selling point for you to pick it up. Because honestly, when a shoe has a story behind it, it's way more interesting to buy and to own than a shoe that's just like, here's another colorway, you know? Like, it definitely is a really good selling point. Anyway, let's dive into the article and see what it has to say about the Question colorway. And as you can see already, as I said, 2 different colors. They've revolutionized the game. Oh my god. Jeez. I mean, everyone's making a big deal about it because of the 2 colors, but let's get into it. So, exclusive Jerry Lorenzo's Iverson inspired editorial for Air Fear of God 1 The Question. Set for an exclusive Chicago release coinciding with the 2020 NBA All-Star Game. Now here's a photo shoot, but we'll dive into some details first. So, to officially announce the release of his Nike Air Fear of God 1 The Question collaboration, Jerry Lorenzo put together an editorial celebrating the importance of Allen Iverson. Tapping lauded sports photographer Gary Land, the set of images reimagines iconic scenes of Al, a personal hero of the Fear of God designer, in a candid ode to his hero. Lorenzo focuses on the impact Iverson had on his life and how the basketball star stands for so much more than his highlight reel. Additionally, Lorenzo notes that the design of the latest take of the Air Fear of God 1 was inspired by the color blocking found on the Iverson's classic Reebok Question Mid signature shoe. It is kind of funky to have like a Nike shoe inspired by a Reebok shoe, but I don't have anything against that. You take inspirations from everywhere. Imagine if Nike artists only took inspiration from other Nike artists. It would just be a big circle jerk of Nike shoes. It's good to take influences from other brands, from, you know, other, you know, forms of art everywhere. Take influences from everything. Yeah, as I said, if it was all just from one source, you'd just have the same thing over and over and over again, which is maybe why people are making a huge deal about this Fear of God 1 having different colors, because it's finally something different. It's finally not, you know, the same tonal color palette applied to the silhouette. It's something a little bit different. Now, straight away, as this first paragraph explained, the photo shoot here is meant to tap into the Iverson photo shoot and iconic photos over the years. So you can see the question mids here, and you can see how the color cuts in about halfway here. Same with the Fear of God 1 here. The color, with the black color here, cuts in about halfway through the shoe and predominantly covers the upper, while the actual, you know, eyelets of the shoe are still maintaining that color at the bottom here, this cream color. It's a very cool way to show the comparison and the influence of the actual sneaker here. I think it's really cool. There's heaps of other photos as well, so if we go through it, bam, there's Jerry there, Iverson, then Jerry, and then Iverson over here. I look at it, they've literally mimicked the photos exactly. I mean, I love it that they had to like slightly change it a little bit to air Fear of God here instead of everything over here, but you know, it's still pretty cool. It's still pretty cool. So there's Iverson, and then Lorenzo. I just, wow. Yeah, I really love that kit, that all black kit. That just quite quickly, Fear of God, I really love the cut of all of their pieces. I really love the idea that it's essentially the brand to cover all the basics, you know, like basic pieces that you can use for really cool outfits. I really like that. I really like that about Fear of God. If I was to do a brand, I would have a subsection of the brand where it would just be like, I don't know, Danyal Bridge basics or whatever, where it would be very much influenced by Fear of God. I love the idea that it primarily focuses around delivering the basics that can be used for amazing outfits. Whether or not the outfit has to incorporate other pieces or not is up to you, but what I like is that the, you know, Fear of God pieces can just be worn by themselves, but also can be incorporated in outfits very easily. And this photo shoot here really proves that. I really like it. There's another iconic photo right there. And you can see there you go. They've literally mimicked it. It's really, really well done. I like that you know, obviously they have to change all the branded pieces from Iverson's photo shoots to Fear of God and Nike pieces, understandably, but it's really cool to see all these photos reimagined. I have tried to do reimagined photos myself of some iconic photos. I tried to do a Supreme one from way back. It's on Instagram, of course, but yeah, I really like the idea of reimagining photos, especially when you're talking about the influences of the photos, influences of the photo that you took, or the designs of, you know, pieces in the photo. I think that's really, really cool. I think it's really, really well done. But honestly, what do I think of the actual sneaker? I don't know, man. It's kind of whack. It's kind of weird to see the colorway just like cut halfway here. Like, it looks like they've just like, oh yeah, it looks like they were making this colorway here, the bottom of the, like whatever this color is here, and then they ran out of materials halfway, and they're like, let's just use black. Let's just use black. We've got a lot of black. Let's just use black. I don't know. It looks really weird to me. Like, it works with leather because it's just been painted here, but with like mesh and other materials where they've like had to stitch it halfway, I don't know, man. It seems kind of weird for me. I don't know. We'll dive into the article further, see what it has to say, but I don't know if I'm feeling the question colorway. It's a little bit too weird for me because of the use of materials and where the colorway just like cuts in and changes like so abruptly. It's not like a transition, you know? It's not like the cream slowly transitions into the black. It's just like cut here and sewed. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe you guys absolutely love it. Let me know in the comment section below if that's the case, but there's something up with it. There's something up with it. It does look a lot better on foot. I remember I was seeing photos of it initially, just, you know, like stock photos of it not on foot, and I was like, this shoe is so whack. But seeing it on foot now, I'm like, it's better. It does look better on foot, but I'm still like, you know, I don't know. I would much rather just like a one-tone Fear of God 1, but that's just me, I suppose. Okay. Catch the candidate from Jerry Lorenzo on his inspiration behind the Nike Air Fear of God 1, the question, and the importance of Allen Iverson. Oh my god, there's a lot going on there. Okay, let's dive into it. So, We partnered with iconic sports and lifestyle photographer Gary Land to reimagine some of the most iconic and intimate images of my hero, Allen Iverson. Ironically, the color blocking of the sneaker was inspired and informed by Allen's The Question. As we embark on Chicago this weekend for NBA All-Star 2020, I wanted to celebrate the kid who grew up on Jordan Drive in Virginia and aspired to be like his hero. Similar to Al, the creator places forks in our roads, where what came before can only inspire to a point, therefore leading to the question. Do you in fact listen to the questions of doubt in your arena and allow that to be your truth? Or do you recognize this moment that God has plans that far supersede your wildest dreams? Although you played in your idol's shoes in college, the responsibility of standing in your own signature design requires the faith and conviction to walk in your own destiny. What's for you may not come in the form of what you expected or prepared for, and without visible answers, your faith may be rooted in the unseen. How do you handle yourself surrounding by uncertainty? One faith step can make things clear. Air was called to carry the game to new heights. Al was called to carry a people and culture to new heights. Mike may have done more rings, but once you are in line with your creator, you realize your rings come in different forms. Where the absence of answers lies, the answers lie, faith is born. I hope this encourages all of us to celebrate our heroes, but to have the insight to hear God's still voice when he directs our path away from our plans and into his destiny. Thank you, Allen. Oh my God, what a monologue right there. My God. Woo! That was a lot to say. My God. I mean, it's good to see that he's actually talking about an influence besides Mike. I mean, I'm not to say that, like, you know, Mike is not a huge influence on a lot of subcultures and a lot of different cultures. It's nice to get a refreshing taste of a different influence for once. Because, I mean, yeah, sure, Mike inspired a bunch of people, but it's nice to hear about someone else for a change. The Nike Air Fear of God, the question is centered around a tonal upper assisted by a contrasting mini swoosh marked TPU cage that inspired by the Air Hurricane Light. Additional detailing on the clean upper is a suede toe cap with tonal stitching, thick black rope laces, interlacing weaved over the vamp and the rear zip enclosure. Elevating the shoe is a matching double height zoom air heel unit. Priced at $350 USD, the Nike Air Fear of God, the question is set to release exclusively in Chicago February 14th to coincide with the 2020 NBA All-Star Game happening in the city. Woo! There we go. So there's a photo from the official Jerry Lorenzo Instagram page, and scrolling down, more photos from his Instagram that they've obviously taken from there. Okay. That is the sneaker. We don't exactly have just a singular photo. If I click on this, it's going to open both photos. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Personally, looking at the colorway, it's not for me. I personally am not feeling this one as much. I would much rather just get a tonal one colorway, Air Fear of God 1. I like the influences behind it. I like that it was well explained through this article and through Jerry Lorenzo's interview and Instagram posts. Personally, for me though, the color blocking doesn't really sell it to me. As I said, I do respect the story behind it, the influences, but it's just not for me. That's not to say that the shoe's bad, that the colorway is horrible. It just doesn't, tick my boxes. And, we all have our own personal thoughts and opinions. I would love to know yours in the comment section below on if you like it or not. But for me, it's just not doing it for me. It's just not enough for me to buy it. I mean, again, as always, most of these shoes that release are not coming in my size, and the Fear of God ones have never come out in a size 16 or 17, so I don't have to worry about missing out if I did want it, but this colorway just isn't for me. The color blocking is it's a step in a new direction. I'm very happy to see that Fear of God and Nike are taking that direction, because just releasing tonal versions of the Fear of God 1s over and over and over and over again would eventually get quite boring. I mean, the proof of that is through the Yeezy 350 V2s. I mean, they did that for way too long and they're still doing it, and it's really killed the shoe. I think doing that to the Fear of God 1s would kill it. I'm glad to see that this new direction is being taken. Hopefully they take it a step further and do more colorways like this, or more colorways in different color blocking methods, because it'll be good to see it, you know, being shook up and giving it a new breath of life. For me, it's definitely probably going to be a skip, but definitely going to be a skip. But I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions, guys. As it said here, though, it's only coming out, well, it's getting an exclusive release in Chicago on February 14th for $350 USD, but I'm assuming it's going to get a general release later on. I want to know all your thoughts and opinions on it though, guys. Do you like the inspiration behind the colorway? Is that enough for you to buy it? Or is the colorway just not hitting the boxes that you want ticked and it's going to be a miss from you? Definitely let me know on all my socials, Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. Or let me know in that comment section below, guys. How do you feel about the Fear of God 1, the question colorway? That's all I've really got to say about the Fear of God 1, the questions, guys. To sum it all up, the colorway, it wasn't for me. The black mixed with the cream, cream, whatever it is, I was just not feeling it. But I have to commend the story behind it, the influences, and the step in the new direction that the Fear of God 1s are taking. I think it's good, it's fresh, but personally for me, not so much. I do like the Fear of God 1 silhouette though. The overall design of the Fear of God 1s is actually really cool. There are a couple colorways I wouldn't mind getting, but they just don't make them big enough for me, so I have to miss out. But yeah, it's a very nice shoe. I'm happy to see that it is changing it up and it is getting a release date. So it's February 14th, $350 USD. Chicago only at the moment, but I would be shook if they didn't do a general release later on. So I reckon we're going to get these probably later on in the month as a general release, but we'll have to wait and see. But I thought I would just cover it for anyone that's watching from Chicago. I don't know if there anyone is. Definitely let me know in the comment section below if you're from Chicago and you're watching. That would be really cool. I'd love to know who's actually watching around the world. Sound off where you're watching from, guys. I love seeing it, like all these different like countries saying, yeah, I'm from yada yada yada. I'm like, wow. Someone's watching from all the way over there. Crazy. Anyway, got sidetracked. That has been the Fear of God 1, the question colorway. Definitely let me know how you feel on all the socials in the description section below. You know, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that. Or down in that comment section below. Don't forget, we are aiming for 2,000 subs, fellas. So subscribe on this account. Subscribe on your mum's account, your dad's account, your brother or sister's account, your friend's account. We gotta hit 2K subs. Why? Because I want it. It's a nice little number. I just want to see a 2. It's in the front instead of a 1. Anyway, that has been the Fear of God 1, the question colorway. Almost forgot there. The question colorway. So until the next Fear of God video, until the next Nike video, guys, until the next streetwear video, I'll catch you later.